It's time for a party, dear nerds, geeks, and other pop culture lovers, and I don't mean a party with booze and music. Although, who knows what will happen. No, I mean a party of adventurers. A group of loyal companions, some of which a lot of us have romanced. Please give it up for Theo Solomon, Samantha Béart, and Dave Jones.
Hello.
How are you doing?
It's awesome, right, great.
Hello. Join.
Hey.
Hello everybody. Hello Samantha. Hello Theo. Hello Dave.
Hello, Walter.
It's great sitting here with you guys because, please don't shame me, I have put a whopping 27 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. Is that like a shameful amount, or are you like, I can beat that?
It sounds pretty mixed to me.
Yeah,
I'd be
I think a lot of
going
people
alone tonight.
And it's 20 more than me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just 20?
It's 20.
Oh, that's not bad. But I feel like I know all of you personally, except for Carla, your character Samantha. And that is because I totally missed her. And for the simple reason she was behind a broken bridge, as you might remember. And I didn't think of jumping over that bridge. So by the time I noticed, hey, somebody's missing in my party, you were dead or missing, or I don't know, time had
You
passed.
didn't go back, that's what happened.
I did go back, but too late.
Yes.
So,
The silence is deafening.
I know, right? It's embarrassing. I am very sorry about this.
27 hours, that is basically, you just start again.
That's true.
Yeah. But to someone who knows a lot about Baldur's Gate, except for your character, how would you describe your Karlach, your demony?
You gave me to sell Karlach to you.
Yes, please.
I mean, I just say, just look at her. It's all there, full package.
Yeah,
There you are.
Please don't do that again. That was really scary.
I'm worried about how we're going to do the catwalk. It's just... I have to have a walk off.
We're doing it.
Walk off.
We're doing a
I
count.
mean, you've already done it.
you're free to use it, of
You've
course.
set the precedent. This is why we have one. Hello, Theo Solomon's here. Prepare the catwalk.
Well, nobody else is gonna.
This is all.
I'm afraid you have to, Theo.
That's cheating. That's what you did at the game as well. Sometimes you got it's fair.
So, speaking of Karlach and speaking of you, Theo, I saw you streaming Baldur's Gate 3, and
Right.
I saw you trying something with Karlach.
Yeah. I tried to romance Karlach. Tried being the operative word in that sentence. The Shaolin Riz techniques weren't working on Karlach. I got a little knockback. And
Not quite the knockback, if I remember.
it was a bit.
What did you do to alienate her like
I
that?
don't know.
Did you kill the Grove?
I'm a sweetheart.
Did you kill the Grove? Because you laughed.
I may or may not have.
That's why she doesn't want to know. Just a little genocide of your people. No, I'm not keen on it. Not keen.
So, who did you end up with in the end? Because there was a second choice, right?
There was a second choice.
Oh yeah?
It was not Mazora. It was not Mazora. We kind of got a love-hate thing going on, me and Mazora. It was a little someone called Lazel. You might have heard him. Yeah.
You built my hopes up.
Yeah.
I want to taste
It's got chemistry.
Anyone here had Lazel as a special interest as well? Yes, multiple people.
They know.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, great choice.
Definitely. So, Dave, I have to ask you the question. So probably a lot of people are what I'm gonna ask, but I want to be the first to ask you this, and I'm afraid maybe they won't dare to.
Believe me, you're not the first.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It has to do with a bear.
I don't know, man. I think I missed this bit. What's this about?
I don't know what it's all about. No idea.
Wasn't it like a groundhog that dropped his acorn while watching you? Ooh, something like that, right?
I wondered where we were going there. Yeah, it's a squirrel in a tree.
Squirrel.
Gazing upon the freedom of nature's gifts. And that's all. That's all that needs to be explained.
That's the entire story.
Yeah, I don't know how age appropriate it is.
Well, I don't know. Were you in a bear suit? Is my question actually.
It wasn't a suit. It was not a suit. It was all bear.
Okay.
Please put your mocap costume on, Dave. We need it for the take.
Oh, we're doing the mocap costume on the catwalk. Oh, nice. That's not happening.
I don't think it's very flattering, right?
No.
Well, I mean, I want to ask you all the questions in the world, but I think some of you fine folk would like to ask some stuff as well. So please, if you have a question for our Baldur's Gate 3 folks, please line up in front of the mic.
Come on now.
Oh, look at that.
Don't be shy.
Wow.
There she is. Hey, Sandra. Look at you. Fabulous.
Thank you. I have a question. Most of your characters have a pretty hard backstory. Did you learn any life lessons from your character from Baldur's Gate that you still use in your life?
Is this question specifically for someone or just all of them?
Yeah, whoever has an answer can answer it.
Yeah, I'd say with Will, something I learned from him is the fact that you have no outside control of what happens to you in life. Like the worst possible things can happen, such as pacts with devils. But the one thing you do have control over is how you react to those situations in life. And you can always flip a negative into a positive. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love him for that reason.
Is there any lessons you learned from Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, this same one you mentioned, that you don't have control over it.
I think the line, damn it's good to be alive, has got me through a lot since the world is on fire. And like you said, we can choose how we react to things. Not always 100% of the time, but we do get to choose how we react to things. And I think that's a really healthy way to live through this whole, whatever this is we're in right now.
Yeah, and no matter what you're going through, there's somebody out there that's worse off, and yeah, just try and be mindful of that.
Great question and a great costume as well, by the way. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. My question to all of you is, what is the biggest impact Baldur's Gate has had on your life?
I mean, this is evidence of how big it is, I think, on the inside. I don't know you guys, but on being very much in it, it's quite hard to quantify how big this is. And the cons always remind us how many folks have got so much out of it, so thank you.
And yeah, it's got me back into gaming. Like, I was a big gamer when I was young. I had every console, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, PS2, etc. And this game has got me playing games again. Like, it's got me streaming on Twitch, do you know what I mean? I'm loving it. It's awesome, so I'm always going to be thankful of Baldur's Gate 3 for that. Like, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is everybody following Theo on Twitch, are you?
Twitch, yeah, don't follow me, I'm a nutter. Like, there's a lot of chaos. If you like chaos, then follow.
I think they like chaos. PG3 fans, I think they like chaos.
PG3 chaos indeed.
Hello.
Hello. My question is for Samantha specifically. I've just finished my Carly playthrough and I've noticed that it feels incredibly healing to play as her because I resonate a lot with her and her story. Unfortunately, her story doesn't end well, spoilers. And I was wondering, if you had the power to decide what Carlack's ending would be like, where do you think she would be?
You're absolutely not nailing me on that. So I feel the writing stands up for itself. I think you have a lot of choice, especially if you're playing as Origin Carlack. You can go full evil at the end, and that's pretty fun. I feel that the writing covers so much that it's justified by your playthrough. Surely you pick the right ending for your personal playthrough, and so I think that's my very wishy-washy, non-committal answer to your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Hello.
So, because Baldur's Gate is basically, at this point, a dating sim with a little bit of D&D.
It's an indie dating sim, it's full title.
It is. It is very much a dating sim. So, my question for all three of you is, who's your favorite romance option, and who's your least favorite, and why?
I mean, I didn't know Baldur's Gate was a dating sim. I never looked at it like that, but yeah, I play it for the combat.
You've only played 200 hours, man. It's like you're just getting warmed up into it, to be honest.
That's who I'm in.
I've got to be extremely narcissistic and say Halton, as both my favourite and least favourite. Yeah.
Well, this is quite awkward because I kind of name these guys every time I get asked this question. But if you're also being evil, there's Minthara. You kind of have to play as Origin Carlack to get that, but that's a possibility in Emma Gregory's performances. Mwah. But I always say you, mate, and I always say you. Oh, look, here I am! And I think Shadowheart's romance is wonderful. Lae'zel has it, and Carlack have this mutual respect. Gale I'm never quite sure of, not because of the writing, but they're sort of opposites, really. I figured she chops wood all day, he reads books. They'll get together for meal times, but, you know, they're quite independent people. What about you?
That's a tough one. I had, like, not even a love triangle, I had a love square, pentagon, hexagon going on at one point, but I think Will and Carlack are probably meant to be together, you know? Oh man, we're probably meant to be.
Because I'm sitting here, right?
No. And not to date. I would date this person, but maybe Gale, just because of hey, no, do you know what it is? It's the hunger. That's an expensive date.
He's really not over his ex either.
That's a 6-course meal, like.
Then he's going to tell you that it's not anything serious because he's not quite over his ex-girlfriend
Exactly.
anyway. Nah.
She's in the past, so maybe Gale, but obviously Carlack #1.
So is it true? Is Gale high maintenance? Is that a thing? Does anybody know?
I mean, he does cost a lot of very good items, so it's like...
Yeah, that's true, yeah, of course, yeah.
Not me, for me, it's chronic all the way.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo. Yeah. Give him a hand, of course. Hello.
Hi. Oh my god. Is that too loud? Okay.
No, it's not. It's quite a roomy room.
Okay, so the characters in Baldur's Gate that you have voiced over, are there some character traits that made it easier for you to relate to the character and, well, therefore voice it over maybe better? And maybe you could also mention, in general, when you're voicing characters, are there character traits that kind of relate to you that allow you to feel them better?
I mean, if you've got to remember, we did mocap as well at the same time as a physical experience. For me, when I used to lift, I just imagine she's got this hunk of metal in her chest, which unfortunately I can't relate to. I'd love an infernal engine. That works, I know. But I imagine that she bench pressed too much and didn't stretch. So she's just really stiff in that upper body, and that's what I took with me. That's what I took. What about you, Lifton? You can dance, don't you? Have that whole thing.
Dance. What I took from Will, I think that he's an empath. I mean, us as actors, we're all empaths naturally anyway.
Also tadpoled.
We're tadpoled as well. But I think getting into him, like, I remember one of my old acting teachers. She said sometimes work out to in, and you can even do that in everyday life, right? Especially in the mocap suit. So if you want to feel confident, like puff your chest out, smile, you know, move with confidence, and then naturally, like, your internal rhythm will inform your outer. So I always try to stand up tall, you know, because he's royal, do you know what I mean? So I think physically it helped so much to inform our voices, like when we're in the volume, for sure.
He really is a Prince Charming type as well, and that's so rare to see in a game like this. It's
Sure.
Cool.
Stop.
It's true!
Yeah, the physicality basically flows through every single character, really. And so, for me, I think it was when I first saw him, the graphic of him, so I could actually see what he was like, and that informed the voice even further. He was originally in the audition, the tone was that of an Oxbridge rugby playing scholar. And so you've got that and he's hefty. I mean, he's got some heft, he's got some chop.
I believe the word Carlac used was hench, which for a fantasy game, I was quite surprised they kept that. I'm really glad that you played it the way you did, because he was likeable. Compared to the way you've just described that, it doesn't grab me as much. I'm not a bro, you know what I mean? So Good.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I stepped into the character. I taken that first step in, the in-breath, and just, you're there. And so I completely agree with you two, yeah.
Oak Father preserve us.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Good energy.
I have a question for all of you. What was your favorite part of the game to act out?
Favorite part of the game to act out? To act out. Is it the bear thing?
No.
I so want it to be the bad thing, don't it?
You're obsessed.
Yeah.
For me, purely for how it was such a juxtaposition from what was actually happening to what I was doing, carrying Thaniel through the portal, like this, just carrying a small boy, when in fact it was two couch cushions gaffer-taped together.
I love this.
With a big gaffer-taped face.
Aww.
So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, for me, all the romance scenes were my favourite. I can't lie. I love the language that's used. You know, in 2025, we don't really get that kind of Shakespearean-esque language where you can really, you know, paint pictures and really, really riz someone. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm feeling this is a Will thing and not a Carlac thing. When did I speak pure power? I didn't speak poetry. It was pretty.
Even the words I use on you, of course, Carl. Of course. So yeah, the writers are incredible, absolutely incredible. So they do, you know, half the job for us in the collaboration. So yeah, the romance scenes are a massive part of the game as well. Do you know what I mean? Those choices. So definitely my favorite.
Thank you for bringing us back to romance, because we will never...
We veer off for 30 seconds, didn't we? Carlac gets a hug. That was probably my favourite, because I got, you know, the whole time they go, and you can't touch them, you can't touch anybody. And she's touched stuff, she goes on about it enough, you know. But I just got to sort of melt, of course it was just on my own, but I got to sort of melt into this imaginary person, which was all of you. So it was kind of wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
I had a question for everyone of the cast. What line was the most difficult to act out and say because of the emotions your characters were feeling?
Most difficult emotions you had.
I'll give you a quick answer, post-Gortash fight, I knew it was going to get emotional. You know, it's that drama school thing of, I have to enunciate or I'm going to have to do this again. So I was just like very conscious, not of the emotion, it was just getting through it and enunciating so you can hear it. So I didn't have to do that repeatedly. So it was difficult on a technical level, I think is the answer for me.
Yeah, I think similar to you on a technical level, I think one of my first days recording Will, I was just doing spells. So I was like, advocatus diaboli. And I remember looking at the script like, does this guy just speak Latin? Like, is there any English coming? And we're doing these lines over and over and over again.
Yeah, so I did the other side of that over and over again. Oh God, he's really obsessed with me. I think we did about 3 times, I think, because they tweaked it a lot. Yeah, like it's rude.
You've got to have so much stamina for that. Do you know what I mean? Your diaphragm, if you're not on voice, you're done. You're going to lose your voice after like an hour.
These are 4-hour sessions we're talking about, so yeah, you got to pace yourself, and there's a lot of shouting on that sort of Shakespearean, operatic level, isn't there, for us? Yeah. How about you?
Well, for me, no, it's not the bear sex. For me, again, spoiler alert, when Oren kidnaps Halsin, and it's basically Oren being Halsin. Halsin's put through a lot, a hell of a lot, like what would be essentially a war crime, and so that was hard, that was rough. So yeah, for me, basically what he was going through was hell, and basically putting yourself through it in order to portray it. Yeah, it can be. There's a limit that ideally you do not cross, and you just push it as far as it can go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You guys do such a good job at voicing the characters, and I was wondering if there's anything that you do in specific to get into character, or are you just able to snap into it like that?
What do you think? It's,
Different actors give different answers, I've found.
Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. After a while, there's a groove you get into, because basically if you're doing it for 3.5, 4 years, or even just solidly for months at a time, you will find that you need the reference tapes that we get played to us at the beginning of the sessions. You need them less each time, because you find an easy way in. Yeah, that's how it was for me anyway.
We had it looked like a gearbox on the floor to put our feet on, and then you're kind of glued to it. And I found as soon as I was on it, the little thing, to the point where the 5% that was voice only, I had to stand that way in order to sound like Karlak. It was really strange. So yeah, and for me, I don't know what it was like for you. I was in every other day doing it, so they didn't need to play it back. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, we were in consistently, weren't we? Like day after day for weeks, and it was nice because it was like we didn't really take off.
Gift for an actor though, isn't it? It's like a theatre rehearsal, you're just doing a very intense thing, yeah.
Like we never really came out of character, do you know what I mean? Also, like, I think initially, if you've watched the film Gladiator, you know, Russell Crowe's character, he's so, like, righteous and noble, so I kind of based Will on him a little bit at the beginning. And then, yeah, like Dave says, down the line, you're just, you know them, you know how they feel, you know their voice, you know instinctually how they're gonna move, and you just slide into it, yeah.
So I spoke to Tom McKay and Luke Dale just before this, and they did that, like the lines and the movement, like the motion capture separately. Did you guys do that as well, or did you do it all at the same time?
No, we did it at the same time.
Yeah,
a lot easier for us.
Yeah.
Because the
I thought that
body and
was
the
like
voice goes together. So.
Okay, well that seems like the logic way to go, but you know, different studios, different ways, I guess. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Does this work? Is this okay? Okay. So first of all, I wanted to thank you all for the amazing work that you did. I can't tell you how many things you guys got me through. And my main question is about this notion of like class fantasy. It kind of goes out to everyone, and I'm wondering when, for example, getting into the shoes of Karlach. Of course, she's a barbarian. So do you ever kind of think of that like, well, barbarians have this kind of like intrinsic rage to them that I need to channel going into that character? Or of course, I'm a warlock, so I kind of always have this devil on my shoulder looking out like, does that kind of go into how you imagine your characters? Is class fantasy kind of like something that's really intrinsic to them? And if you guys could be any other class, would you imagine being anything else? Yeah.
So when you first started your question, I thought you were talking about social class, because that was something very much on my mind as Karlach. She's working class, right? And there's you get, depending on how you play, you'll find out about her parents and how where she grew up and what that meant. But I mean, when it occurred to me was when we had to do the class lines, as I remember doing the barbarian scream and going, oh no, this is the one, that's what's going to be in most people's games. So I had to, it wasn't always on the writing's so good, the rage is in her lines, so I didn't have to think about it. I will throw Bard into the mix. Imagine a pub fight with Karlach. That's what it sounds like.
So cool. Yeah.
I think the human warlock element is, you know, a gift and a curse with Will, because he's been given these powers, but you know, for such a grim and horrible reason, this pact that's been inflicted upon him. If I could change his class, there's only one class I think that fits him fully, and that's a paladin.
Yeah,
you know,
really makes sense.
Super righteous.
Yeah, sense of justice.
Exactly.
Yeah, honestly, paladin I think would probably not fit Halsin as well. But at the same time, though, he's kind to the kind and unkind to the unkind. There isn't a true righteousness to him. He won't eschew doing bad things for the greater good. He'll happily do that. Well, I say happily, it's just, there's a straight line.
But isn't that his closeness to nature means that he isn't going to take sides so easily? Would you say?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, he plays quite neutral.
Yeah. Well, basically, in the wild, there's no law. So, if a lion kills, it doesn't do it for fun, it's doing it to live.
Yeah.
And that's the natural order of things, and that is Halsin's T.
The law of nature. But you had your posture also informed by the fact you based it on another barbarian, actually, right?
Sorry, say again?
Your posture, the Karlach's posture, you actually based it on another barbarian.
Well, yeah, we was just saying, because I didn't know that Theo was inspired by Gladiator, because very early on I was inspired by Rome, and the character of Titus Pullo, this is really obscure because it's a long time ago, but normally I'd use Ripley or Sarah Connor, but they weren't quite right. This is someone who's the biggest person in the room and has always been the biggest person in the room. And he's scared of breaking things, you know, but he's also horribly traumatized and keeps that under... It's Titus Pullo, essentially. So that helps at the beginning, just to go, how well does she hide this? This is why she makes jokes about everything, because that character existed, so it was really helpful at the beginning. I wish he was alive, Ray Stevenson, I could tell him, and he'd go, what's a video game, Robbie? Don't worry, they're pretty big, but you're a big inspiration, Ray, so thank you.
I'm curious, has anybody here seen Rome?
You're too young.
Yeah, actually two hands, I think.
Someone's mum over there. There was an HBO series, there's 3 people at the back being kind. There's a couple of... it's really good. If you like it was before Game of Thrones, HBO, it's really good. Check it out. It's pretty brutal. Love it.
Extremely brutal.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
question.
Thank you. Let's Gortash again. He's back.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, you know each other?
Yeah, this guy sold me to hell. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
It's fine.
We're okay now.
It's great. So my question is, if you could romance any of the villains, who would it be and why?
The villains?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know about that. We're all pretty goody two-shoes on this side of the street. I mean, you play as Origin, we'll romance anyone, won't we? So, yeah, so I always say Minthara, that's what I always say. I'll stick to that.
Oh, there's no way Halston could do Minthara. No.
No, he can't, no.
No. Probably Ketherick.
People are shocked now.
Just so he could swing on his beard.
I'm imagining there's fan art being drawn as you speak.
Controversial one. It's got to be Mazora, you know. It's got to be Mazora. There's something
Right
about
there.
her. There's something about
He's
her.
got your soul!
Yeah.
That's what it is!
Yeah, I think Mazora. For me.
I've seen that scene.
Yours, by the way?
I mean, isn't it pretty clear?
You can't romance Cortez, you can't do it at the moment.
I will find a way, okay?
Do it for all of them. Do it, look at it, you're getting encouraged. There are mods now.
Yeah, there's more.
I know about the mods, we all know about them.
I'll be a mod in no time, I'm sure. Thank you. Great question. Hello.
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 Hi.
So, two-part silly question. If your characters ended up in like a modern fantasy world or this world, what sort of job would they take? And if the four of you would end up in the video game world, what would you do?
Job.
Halston, vet. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Carlack's either a bartender or a bouncer. I can't work out which one.
Both.
Probably forgetting about the other job that she's got and smashing up her own bar. What was the other question? If
the four of you ended up in that world of the video game, what would you do?
I'd be a squishy bard, obviously. Squishy bard.
I think Will would be like an under-10s football coach or something, you know? Like a PE teacher at school.
And they all call him Dad.
Exactly. Yeah.
That must be kind of sad, actually.
Be everyone's dad would be awesome. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You know, like in school when you accidentally call like a teacher mum or you're like, no!
I mean, I've heard that's something people do, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, football teacher.
And what about if you were in a fantasy world? What would you?
I was in a fantasy world. Ooh. As me? Oh, what class would I be if I was in a fantasy world? Ooh, Bard's a good one. I'm not sure. I would have to go Paladin again because that's just me all over.
Such a goody two-shoes.
Yeah.
Thank you, great questions.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming here, and I'm pretty sure I saw the fan art. I'm pretty sure I saw that fan art of Ketherick and Halston in the
It already
art gallery.
exists.
My question is actually a little different because someone asked mine and I had to improvise on the line. But joining Baldur's Gate, probably you knew that you're joining something really big that's going to open a world of possibilities for work. And if there was a magic wand that you could use, like your fantasy role, that you could reprise, redo for everyone, just pick what could you do? What would it be for you?
What would you do?
If I could legally mete out vigilante justice, I would. But it's probably best I can't. There's a reason we have laws, and maybe I shouldn't go, no, I know best, and beat people to death.
Yeah.
And go, shit, sorry, wrong person.
So, what's our dream role, did you say? Sorry.
Yeah, your dream role that you could reprise, redo for any franchise, anything that you could pick.
Oh, we're doing job requests. This is nice.
Do it.
Nice.
I would like to do the voice of Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
I love it. It's specific.
Yeah, very specific. People who know, do you know what I mean?
Ooh, I'm going to need a bit more.
Bit more thought. Make a little list, read it out, so who's listening. Or give your top 3, it doesn't matter.
I think probably, I mean, this will fly by all of you, but basically, an enemy in Danger Mouse. There you go.
Oh, hell yeah, I get it. It's just me and you.
Yeah, absolutely, because that was like my favourite thing growing up. Like that really informed my sense of humour. And so yeah, that definitely, hands down.
So Theo, can you do my favorite Vegeta line for me? Do men...
You're auditioning now. It's alright, there's only a few hundred people here.
Kakarot! No, I have a better one for you. Do men wear pink in this world?
Of course.
Of course they do. In what world do they not wear pink?
Line. That's what Vegeta says.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it does. It's my favorite line of his. My girlfriend reminded me just today. Pink. Okay.
Deep cuts here. I'm glad that the beginning of the question was about, obviously you knew it was going to be big. We didn't know it was going to be this big. Sven did not know it was going to be. We did not know this game would be this big, did we?
No idea at all. At all. I didn't even know what conventions really were. I think
we're still finding out.
I think a month before release, Neil Nabon was like, this might be quite big, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be quite big. Yeah, sure. It was very well written. I'm sure a few people will come back in a few years and go, you did well, kid. You did all right. But no, we had no idea.
Well, actually, I think the line has been cleared, and I know why, because we have a last-minute surprise for 5 people in the audience, because we have 5 special edition posters signed by you guys. Maybe not yet, but maybe in the future. And they can pick them up at the guest square over there. And we're going to do a little opera here.
Are we going to look under the seat?
Does everyone get a car? Do I get a car?
No.
I get a car?
People have to look under that chair.
They do!
Oh!
That's a lot.
If there's a sticker, you have won a special edition.
Oh, it's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
For what you wish.
Hey, do we have a winner? Yeah, that's the first one. There's the second winner.
I've got a golden ticket.
Anyone else? Over there, there's a 4 or 5 down already. Yes. And there's the 5th. Yay! Congratulations, all of you winners.
We're all winners today.
So you can pick up your poster at the guest square where you will be signing and meeting fans and doing all the fun stuff. So please go there and check them out once more. Thank you so much for your awesome answers, for your energy, and thanks everybody for your questions, of course.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you very much. Please a round of applause for our moderator here, Walter. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Don't go anywhere because we still have a special guest to go, of course, in just a few minutes. Thank you, guys.
Ominous.
I'm not leaving the stage now.
Oh, okay. We're just going to stay here, are we?
Thank you for joining us for this exclusive Q&A session. But the excitement doesn't end here. This is your chance to capture the moment, get your photo taken, or have your unique